But it's cleaner. It might be behind, but it's cleaner.
It's cleaner.
My French friends don't listen.
Yeah. So, what were the problems? Infrastructure, living space. So the president of the National Committee, his name was Willy Daume, he suggested to the mayor that we should apply for the 20th Olympic Summer Games, because then we get a lot of finance, we get a possibility to build a lot. We didn't have any major sports facilities, so that was like the chance they saw. And it was actually pretty crazy to apply, because there were other cities like Montreal or Madrid that already had like these huge sports stadiums, and we didn't. But back in the days it was a little bit easier to apply than nowadays. Do you know what it costs to apply for Olympic Games, just for the application today?
Isn't it 5 million? No?
Actually even a little bit more. So we have paid 30 million to apply euros to apply for the Winter Games. So it was quite a lot. Back in the days it was only 10,000 mark. So that was before euros.
Yes.
10,000, and in that we already included the camera they had to buy to shoot the application video. So that was actually a pretty easy decision then. And what did they do? So the hill you see there,
Yeah.
the Olympic Hill, is actually made out of debris from the Second World War.
Oh.
Munich got hit pretty bad. We had 66 bomb attacks to the old town, and after the war they brought all the stuff here. Or, I mean, there are 2 other hills in Munich as well, but like parts of it, so 2/3 is just debris, and then afterwards they shaped it to look nice. But you have to imagine now, when we applied, this area is still mostly empty, and this super nice hill. So what did they do here? Just climb up the debris, see or like show the area, like we have a lot of space, we can build a lot here. And then they also showed Bavarian culture, they went to the city center, and that's how they applied. And then surprisingly they got the Olympic Games, which is nice, but well, then they realized they didn't have a concept yet, right? And only 7 years to plan and build. So 65 they got the Olympic Games, and then they really had to do something right. Nowadays it's not really imaginable to be able to build like this whole area and also plan it. But back in the days they just thought, well, we will do an architecture competition and let's see what's going on there. So the winners, they were from Stuttgart, they were called Günther Behnisch and Partners. Well, if you're not from architecture field then you probably won't know them. But they convinced with this concept they had here. So they wanted to have Olympic Games in a park, in the outdoors. So if you look at the seats and you see different shades of green, and this was supposed to, you know, be like a forest that goes through the stadium, over the lawn and back to the other side, outside, and spread everywhere. They also had donation of trees, so that it looks way older than it actually is, and they really wanted to model like this pre-Alp environment. So we have like this hilly landscape. They were one of the few who didn't want to remove the hill. They said, no, we're gonna reshape it, make it look nice. And if you look at the roof, it's supposed to model the Alps. So a bit. If you actually stand over there, you can see it better because it has like this tips.
You've been to the Montreal Park, haven't you? I've been to Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal.
It looks totally different.
They were in '76.
It's
right
totally
after,
different.
Right
Yeah.
after Munich.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Totally
Yes.
different.
It's crazy. Yeah, then they had only 3 years left to build this roof, which is crazy. And back in the days, they were not able to calculate anything. So they just tried, to be honest. So they had models. They started with soap and water, you know,
Play-Doh.
had like little metal sticks, and then tried to mimic how it would shape and stuff. So it was a pretty crazy process, actually, that they really dared to build a roof like this if you couldn't calculate it. They actually had it calculated, and they said it wouldn't stand after the games. And the first time they could really calculate it was in the 1980s. I was Technical University of Munich that were able to calculate it.
The computers came
Yeah.
into play with CAD drawing then, because we didn't have it back then. Yeah.
Exactly, before that it was really hard. Alright, the second motto they wanted to have here was Olympic Games of Short Distances. That is what we actually applied with, so they said they could build a lot here, and we had 80% of all the disciplines on this area. Do you know which discipline might not have been here?
Marathon. This seems pretty small.
Maybe equestrian.
Actually, that's true, yes. Not what I meant, but also true. Equestrian was at the Castle Nymphenburg.
It's
Have you
something.
been there?
Yeah,
Nymphenburg,
it's
I
away.
know.
Yes.
Yeah, in the English Garden and also in
Yeah.
Nymphenburg, and some was also here. So they spread it, have a nice environment with the castle in the background. But that would still have been considered short distances somehow. But I'm talking about sailing. Sailing was actually really far away. They wanted to do it at the Bavarian Lakes. I don't know if you visited some of that, Chiemsee, stuff like that,
No.
Bodensee. They didn't have a guarantee for wind. For wind, you guarantee you need open water. So in the end, they decided to go to Cologne. Kiel.
Cologne.
Kiel. Is that an English name for Kiel? No, I don't think so. It's in the north of Germany,
No, there's not.
at the coast.
I know where it is.
Yeah, okay. Kiel. They went to Kiel, and there they had the sailing competition and their own short distances, right? We have an Olympic Village. If you walk over the bridge, it was like 15 minutes to walk all around here, or 20 minutes.
We were.
And in Kiel, they did the same thing. So they had like this Olympic Village close to the place where the competition took part, but actually it was a bit farther away.
That's
So
pretty far
officially,
away.
yeah.
That's really far.
Is that
Officially,
the kayaking too? Was that there too? All of the water
no,
sports?
that was in Augsburg. So this is like an hour away
This is pretty
from
far.
Munich as well, but 80% really could take place here. And if you look to other
far.
cities, it's often that they even have their stadiums in different spaces. And we had the swimming hall here, we have the Olympic Stadium here, and we have at the Olympic Hall and the Olympic Stadium here. So there's actually quite a lot here in this area. We also used to have a cycling arena.
Yes.
But that doesn't exist anymore. They're building a new one actually at that place right now, and there will be ice hockey and basketball there. So FC Bayern also has a basketball team, not only soccer. So they will train there, and then I don't know if you know them, EHC Red Bull Munich. So that's the ice hockey team.
Yeah,
We
we're
just came from Udenberg. Red Bull.
Kittelfield.
You know what that
Kittelfield.
is?
Yeah.
Kittelfield.
Yeah, they have a Red Bull race.
We're
We
Red
went
Bull
down
fans.
Crazy.
We're
Yeah,
racing.
Red Bull had everything.
there. That's where
I
it's
know.
made. That's the owner. He lives there.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kittelfield.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So yeah, I'm Red Bull fans.
Yeah, so they're building a new arena there right now. It was supposed to be ready, well, finished already, but soon it will be. And third motto, I already told you something about that. It was supposed to be the games of the sports in the center. Yes, happy games and everything like that. That was a motto because they really wanted to separate from the 1936 games in Berlin, and that's why they did some of that.